We're back, baby! It's been a few weeks. It's been a lot of action. A lot of action. It's good to be back, man. It is, yes. It is good to be back. It is good to be talking some football with you, sir. You've been on a road trip, not from heaven. I mean, you've been all over the place, man. How was Indy? Let's start off with that. Like, give us a quick little recap on Indy. How was it? I know it's been different from years prior.
For sure. This was my fourth time going to Indy, and every time's an absolute blast. First thing that comes to mind is cold. Didn't like that from Texas, so I try to avoid that as much as possible, but definitely couldn't in Indy.
That wind, dude, cuts right through you.
So rough. But other than that, great. You got, I would say, one of the more memorable just draft class performances as a whole. Like every day had somebody doing something crazy to the point I was like, something has to be going on here. Like this is wild. But just from a performance standpoint, I loved it. I love Indy as a city. The nightlife was great. Didn't see as many people out as I would hope to from a NFL personnel standpoint, but that mostly has to do with the fact that they're trying to make it a prime time thing and they're removing all of the NFL talent away from the nightlife during the time because they have to work and they have to do things. So that was a little different. But overall, Indy was sick. After that, I was in Chicago, also very cold, but very dope. And then I was in Florida for a bit. So I'm home. I'm back. I've been absorbing football the entire time. It was wonderful. We had MLB going on, free agency going on the same time as the NFL, which is wild.
Yeah,
so I've been borderline overstimulated to this point, but I'm loving it and I'm having a great time and I can't wait to unload. So thank you for being here with me to regurgitate.
I know, man. It's like we are our release in terms of like football and being able to talk and get all this shit off our chest. And so like I've been needing this just as much as you have. So cheers, sir. Here's it's coffee this morning.
This is not. All right, let's get it.
All right. First things first. I think the biggest news has been in free agency in the NFL. It was the
I'd love to see where you go with this.
The domino effect of Aaron Rodgers. I think that was the good way to start it. That's the way it got ignited. Everything fell into place after that. Nobody was willing to make a move until they knew what was going on with Aaron Rodgers. Denver obviously had the plan in place. If Rodgers wants to come, this is what we're trading him for. If not, we're going to go get Russell Wilson. And all of these things went to happen. Did you see Davante Adams getting traded? I thought if Rodgers stays, Davante stays. I didn't think that there was going to be a money issue. I didn't think any of that. I cannot believe that they let this happen. Or that Rodgers was willing to let that happen, or Davante was willing to let that happen. Like, I didn't see this coming at all. Even though, I mean, to my Raiders friends that I talk to on a daily basis, we've been kind of pondering this for a while because Davante Adams has been very vocal about loving to play, or like wanting to play for Derek Carr. He literally said, I think last year, the year before, he would only play for two quarterbacks in his career, and it's either Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers. So, what do you think, man?
It's crazy. It is crazy how it developed and how quickly it all developed. Because first you had Rodgers, like you said, the dominoes kind of fell all after that. And the biggest thing that I really gathered from that was the fact that I realized that I can't trust anything I'm seeing on Twitter now. Like all of these journalists and all these reporters seem to be getting everything wrong to this point, man. Which has so many twists that come with that. Like nobody really had Davante trying to go to the Raiders or the fact that the Packers were working on a trade towards that. The Aaron Rodgers shit dropped, and then they were like, "Oh, he's wanting $50 million a year," and they're like, "No, not quite." And I don't think he's even announced an extension yet, has he? I may have missed it.
The Rodgers extension?
Yeah.
I think he's it's like a 3-year. I think it's 3-year 50. It's like a $50 million average.
That got mixed in all the flurry of everything else for me personally, but because right after that. Right when they said that Russell Wilson was out of the Broncos sweepstakes, and boom, that's done, and he gets traded for a haul. And then that just, I think, starts the market because, like you said, that was the first domino that really needed to fall. What is Aaron Rodgers worth? And once that starts to happen, then you have Russell Wilson. Now we have Deshaun, who, again, the journalists were out on it. Like, that morning, they said Cleveland wasn't even in the Deshaun sweepstakes anymore. Now, it's very possible that he was out of the Deshaun sweepstakes at that point, and then they came with, like, hey, let's pay you the biggest fully guaranteed contract in history of sports. Well, NFL. Yeah. It's still no baseball. But I would say there was a lot to gather from this. And the NFL is the king, and it has a monopoly on drama. And they're doing a great job of keeping this interesting. And now the Davante Adams thing in particular, I saw something about him getting a house in Las Vegas like a week ago.
Oh, yeah. This was already in place. And he bought the house is like right. It's in like the Raiders neighborhood.
And it happened to be the neighbor of Derek Carr.
Yeah.
What? Like, how was this not found out? But I saw from a no-name, literally a week and a half ago saying that Davante Adams bought a house in Vegas. And I kind of shooed it away. I was like, well, no one else is really talking about this. But no one's got any plugs right now, it sounds. It sounds like front offices are just feeding them bullshit to see where the leaks are.
So I looked up the Rodgers contract right now. And before I could even get to the Rodgers contract, some juicy rumors are being thrown out there about Packers pushing to make a blockbuster trade for none other than DK Metcalf.
Yeah,
they've offered a first round pick for DK. Yeah. Wow. They obviously they have to go get a wide receiver somewhere. But I would think, why would Seattle trade DK on a rookie contract? Keep the young talent. Get rid of Tyler Lockett maybe. He's got a good contract. Get that cap space. But why would you?
Leading into my current topic of the fact that people don't know shit right now, or they're being fed shit, I bet you Tyler Lockett's the one that gets traded.
Yeah, I bet.
Because that's just how the shit's going. They're saying, yeah, we're getting a DK Metcalf, and fucking Rappaport goes out there and tweets a bunch of shit, and everyone feeds off of that, and they're like, oh, psych, we're not doing that at all. It's weird. There's a notable, and it's a tangible disconnect, it seems, between the Twitter media sources and what actually is going on in the front offices. And I think it's worth keeping track of because I can't think of really any of them that the big ones that were didn't come out of nowhere. There hasn't been anything that's been working towards this and we've been keeping track of it. If that's the case, then Deshaun Watson will be in the NFC South right now. But
thank the Lord. Woo! Oh, I'm so happy. The Browns were out of the running. And then the Browns landed Deshaun Watson. Aaron Rodgers' contract was worth what was it, a 5-year, some $100 million deal?
Yeah, $250 million.
3 years, 3-year, $150 million. I couldn't believe that. But yeah, I guess this kind of all flows into the AFC West now becoming a motherfucking juggernaut of a division with Davante Adams being added, Chandler Jones being added, Russell Wilson being added, Randall Gregory being... Yeah, it's just the list goes on and on and on. Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, holy shit, man. This is the Patrick Mahomes effect. This, if you look at the AFC in general, teams are breaking the bank for players. Teams are going out of their way to spend money, to spend draft capital, to trade players. They're in desperation win now mode because if you don't go into preseason with a loaded freaking roster right now, kiss your ass goodbye. You're done. You're not gonna get past KC. You're not gonna for the AFC West. You have to be able to compete. If you walk in week 1 and you can't compete, then you might as well just fucking tuck your tail between your legs and call it a season. They have no choice This is what Patrick Mahomes has done. They've left these teams with no choice. Tampa Bay, or not Tampa Bay, Tom Brady never had that effect on the AFC East. They just accepted defeat. It looked like the Jets accepted defeat every damn year. Miami tried, but did they ever really try? Were they ever throwing 2, 3, 4 first-round picks at players to go and get something that could actually stop Tom Brady? No, they never did it. This is what Patty is had, and you can talk about, that last half or one half of a game, and people can think that Patrick Mahomes is taking some massive step back or something. Has he come back down to earth and reality a little bit? Yeah, of course. Like, you can only play godlike football.
Yeah.
You can only be 07 Michael Vick in Madden for so long. Like it's just the truth. He can't be a permanent cheat code. But I will say this: I do think the AFC or the AFC period, but the AFC West in particular has covered a lot of ground and made up a lot of ground on KC. Even though they should still be the favorites, damn, man, that is a rough 6 games in that division for you.
It's been beautiful. It's been beautiful to see unfold because I think you're absolutely right. It is a reaction to just Mahomes being present within the AFC and just how Kansas City's really building around him. Just from a free agency standpoint, the really only big moves you've seen Kansas City make so far is the Justin Reed and Juju Smith-Schuster signings, which both, if you look at what other people are getting within the market, are very good values for the talent that you're getting. I mean, you could say whatever you want about both of them and their recent performances, but you had Justin Reed coming from a Houston Texans franchise that was like openly exploding internally to like make sure they get as much future capital as possible. And him as a leader, that's hard to construct yourself and be productive in that type of atmosphere. So they got him at a discount. And you got Juju getting balls from Will Ferrell for the past two years, and like all he can really do is screens and bubble screens and slants maybe. So you're getting 2 guys at a lower price than usual. So it looks lackluster compared to the Chargers trading crazy capital. Or not even
crazy. They didn't trade. It was a 2 and a 6.
But you're trading for Khalil Mack and his contract. You're going for J.C. Jackson. You're getting him. You're paying Mike Williams. Like you're putting in a lot of resources that are kind of solidifying what you're looking like for the next few years. And then you have the Raiders obviously trading for Devontae Adams. Got a great deal for him though.
You think so? Would you being in the Raiders position, you're okay giving up a 1 and a 2 for the best wide receiver in the game, probably?
I think that's what it costs. I mean, I think I would, if the DK Metcalf shit really pops off, like, is it going to be much different than that?
I think it has to be. I mean, maybe a 1. Okay, maybe a 1, but not a 1 and a 2. Because a 1 and a 2 I think it is a lot for a wide receiver. But if you look at the Raiders, this is this is to please Derek Carr. Like, this is to make Derek Carr as happy as he can be.
Gross.
Having his
that's
best.
The guy you're. Okay, sure. But if this is the guy you're riding,
they won at Fresno fucking State together. That's got to be saying something, all right? Like, it was Fresno State.
Go get them.
Dude, my grandparents are looking down, just so happy them two are together. Like, my grandparents are from Fresno. They are massive Derek Carr fans. They were Niners fans, but they were Derek Carr. Yeah, it's crazy. All of the Central California is so stoked on this back where I'm from. But I agree with it, but you have to think, like, when have they had a real number 1 wide receiver? Because Amari Cooper didn't really pan out. He was hurt. He had like 1 good year of like 1,000 yards receiving for them. Tim Brown, I mean, that's been the knock.
You're talking about the Raiders?
The Raiders, yeah. When's the last time they had a true number 1? Randy Moss didn't pan out. Like,
and Javon Walker for a little bit, that fell apart.
Yeah, every time they've had somebody, AB, didn't work out.
Michael Crabtree.
Took Tyrell Williams. Yeah, Crabtree. Like, none of these number 1s have ever panned out for them.
Because they don't have a good quarterback to give him number 1.
Oh, come on! He had his best season this year. That's what I'm saying.
Are you saying Derek Carr is the best quarterback in Raiders past 30 years?
Ooh, man, that's hard. I mean, Rich Gannon went and won a Super Bowl, man. Like,
All right, is Derek Carr better than Rich Gannon?
I don't know. That's a hard one to say. I mean, Rich Gannon was not a great quarterback for almost his entire career, and then he had a good stretch with Gruden at the very end.
The fact that it's even a discussion is the whole reason that I'm bringing it up.
When you have Tim Brown and Jerry Rice and all these other guys, I mean, they had a stud. That was a stud-ass team. Let's just be real.
It's just I just see this as like Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall. Like he's gonna make mistakes. He's gonna get the ball to him a lot. He's gonna give him a lot of targets. But like all in all, this isn't enough to carry an offense when you're talking about the other offenses that are currently in this division.
I don't know, man. Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, a run game.
Sure, Derek Carr. Like I don't think that he is the guy to make it happen.
I got way more faith in Derek Carr than I do Justin Herbert. Look at fourth quarter statistics and fucking talk to me. Who led the NFL in comebacks wins this year? Derek fucking Carr. Look it up, baby. Come on. Give him put a little respect on that man's name. Gosh.
Is that chipping route yet? Is that chipping route? Because we might need to do another one.
Oh man.
I want another one, and I want it to be on a Derek Carr. And
I do need to get that chip. Deal. I never bought that. I gotta buy. All right, next episode I will have that chip, and I will eat that. Like,
perfect.
I will eat my words in that chip.
But at some point in this offseason, we need to come up with a Derek Carr bet.
All right.
Nobody else.
If we would have done this last year, I would have won it because he went to the playoffs. He outperformed anybody's expectations, and he did it with a crap wide receiving core minus Hunter Renfrow. I just think now. All right, put it this way. I say all this to say this. It is put up or shut up for Derek Carr. He's on his last year of his contract, and if you can't win,
I think they're working on an extension on him.
I know.
They're going to work on an extension on him.
They're going.
They just paid for Devontae Adams. Like, this is his buddy.
But this is the year. If you can't win, if they gave you your best friend, they gave you, quote unquote, the best wide receiver in the NFL, then it's put up or shut up. That offense better be legit. But the fact that they're like number 4, I don't think there's any chance in hell they should be number 4 in their division right now in terms of betting, because like you just added fucking Chandler. You just added Chandler. I gotta stop cussing. You added Chandler Jones. You get me all worked up, son. You had Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams. Those are 2 of the best players, not necessarily in free agency because Devontae, but like in the market, those are 2 of the best players out there, and they got them both. Rock Ya-Sin, I like the trade for Rock Ya-Sin. Anthony Everett, that's a good one. Like they've got depth now at the in the secondary.
Sure.
They're good. I think they're good. I say this though, like I said.
So who's 4th in the division?
I still think I have no faith in Justin Herbert.
These are Chargers.
Yeah, I think it's the Chargers.
They've been the team that I've seen the most people say that are actually going to win the division. But this happens every fucking year. Every year. And I've been on these type of pods for a few years now. And every year I feel like we talk about the Chargers and how every year I'm just telling them it's the Chargers. They're not going to do it. But I don't think that they're the force. I don't see how they're the 4th seed.
Why is ESPN telling me that the Browns did extensive research? Well, extensive.
Well, they hear you
inquiry into they looked. Okay, ESPN tell me that they looked into Deshaun Watson's issues. No shit. So stupid. Sports media, football media right now is trash. It is pure trash.
It's so bad. I mean, give me on another podcast where we can talk about the overall degradation of our society and just the things that are playing into it. But for now, we'll stick to free agency.
That's why outside of this show, no more media for me. I'm good. But I don't know. It's going to be a killer's list. I think I would go. And the Broncos have just such a well-rounded roster, and you add Russell Wilson to it. I think right now I go KC 1, Denver 2, Vegas 3.
Denver 2.
Would you put the Raiders over Denver right now? I don't know.
How much better is what Russell Wilson has around him now than what he had around him in Seattle?
I think it's far superior.
Far superior.
Yeah, you have three legit wide receivers. You have a better offensive line. You have a far better run game. I mean, the defense is way better.
Without Fangio.
You're talking about Patrick Surtain coming into a second year. You're talking about, I mean, they've got a decent secondary. They still have
Fangio.
Simmons, right?
Yeah. Justin? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they lost Fangio, but obviously that wasn't really panning out. Maybe the defense takes a slight.
Still run a good defense.
Oh, hell yeah, he can. I mean, I think he's one of the best D coordinators in the NFL, but D coordinators don't always necessarily make the best head coaches.
Sure. But you lose his influence on the defense.
Yeah.
But I think it's tough. It's tough. But I love it. I love that this is a thing. Like, I didn't like last year going into the season saying that I think the Chiefs are going to go 20-0. That wasn't fun for me. That didn't sound like an appealing season to watch. Like, I like the drama. I like the fact that we have a division full of competitors and motherfuckers actually going for it now. Because, again, Veach is just back here taking a little discounts, just doing the right thing, just, like, making sure we do well. And we'll see how things are looking at the end of April, beginning of May. But if you want to go off the March, activity and just seeing, like, what people are doing to make sure people can compete this year, this is a long-term game, homie. And this is how dynasties are created. This is how things play themselves out. And teams go all in to make shit happen now, and it better happen now or else you're going to start tripping over yourselves. And at the end of the day, it's awesome that the AFC has this type of activity, this type of juggernaut has happened, and it's going to look like we're going to have a wonderful, another great season of week-to-week football like we had this past year. And say what you want about Goodell, but man puts out a good product.
Answer me this. Take your Chiefs out of it.
Please.
Who wins the Super Bowl, or who goes to the Super Bowl in the AFC right now? Browns, Bills. Somebody from the... I think so, too. I mean, Futa.
But the Von Miller contract comes off desperate.
A little, yeah, but it's the biggest free agency signing in team history. The Bills have never been a destination. Never. Like,
I don't think Von Miller needs that contract.
And I don't.
And I think it's going to hurt them.
It's high. It is very high, but there's no different. But it's actually the exact same contract as Chandler Jones got. Like, in terms of, like,
really?
once you actually break it down, if the first 3 years of the contract are the only thing that matter, and it's almost identical to what Chandler Jones got. So I think they stretched it out, that 5-year deal, even though he's he's 31, right? Von Miller's...
I think he's 32.
32, 33. He's up there.
But he plays off of the explosion, and he's a smaller pass rusher, and he's the fucking man.
32.9, about to be 33 years old.
Yeah, and he got a multi-year big deal.
All right, so he's getting 20 million a year. Christian Kirk is
an old dude, that guy.
Christian Kirk's getting 20 million a year. I mean, that's the day and age we have to accept. Like, the NFL is just...
You got 3. I'm just saying, son. Like,
it's going to be more than 3 mil. Come on. It's going to be at least twice that when it's all said and done.
6. Fine. We gave him 6 million.
Hey, the fact that the Bucs signed Chris Godwin to a 20 mil a year deal is the biggest steal and the biggest discount, I think, maybe minus your Juju signing, maybe. But I think it's the best boom for your buck you're going to get. I think it's the best deal on the market right now, because I think Denver overpaid for Randy Gregory.
Yes.
I think that was one of the...
There's desperation in these moves.
It's definitely desperation.
That's, like, why I'm feeling like we're good. Like, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and people are going to sell out for this year. It just makes us look better 3 to 5 years from now.
Dude, I do. I kind of think I want to say the Raiders, because I like Chandler Jones 10 times better than I like Randy Gregory. Like, Chandler Jones is the best pass rusher in the NFL. He has been for the last 10 years. Like, and he's still putting up great statistics. And he's younger than Von Miller. Like,
yeah. No, that was a great signing for him.
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, 17.
I just don't know if Bradley Chubb is that
he's
premier pass rusher everybody think he is.
Oh, Chubb?
Yeah.
Chubb is definitely like he's underlived his but I mean he's had back-to-back injury. He's had 2 seasons of injury, 2 injury-riddled seasons out of 3. So now it's put up or shut up.
Yeah, he's got to break out this year. He's got to get at least 11 sacks.
Yeah, which is extremely hard when you're having to try to catch Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. But yeah, Justin Herbert you can throw out there, but we all know Derek Carr can't run.
Yeah. We're gonna have crazy Monday Night Football games.
All right, so
during the AFC West.
Christian Kirk, bad deal. Randy Gregory, bad deal. What are some of your favorite signings? I sent you that list.
Outside of the Chiefs?
Yeah. Our team's out of it, because obviously I would say Tom Brady. I mean.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't see a list. Off top.
I sent it to you on Slack. It's got the full list of players available right now, and then all the current signings. If you want to look at it, I'll jump in.
Yeah, go ahead and go first. I'll be right behind you.
The one I dislike the most, for my team's sake, but I loved for the team that signed him, was the Alex Kappa deal. I think that's what the Bengals need to go do. He's been nobody's ever talked about Alex Kappa. But
I would love an Alex Kappa insight, because I did not know.
Alex Kappa is one of the only guards strong enough to fucking shut down Aaron Donald. Like, it happened. Yeah. It legit happened. He held his own on multiple occasions against Aaron Donald. Like, it was a big deal, and I think Aaron Donald even gave him like kudos last year at one point. Like, about like, dude, that dude is a beast. Like, he's a monster. And coming from Humboldt State of all places. You know, I guess I'm stoked for him. I was upset to lose him, but you can't be mad at that. I would say between that one, because it was such a perfect fit, and it's a good fit for them. You know, it was a need, and it was, you know, a decent value. It wasn't too crazy. He's getting average 8.75 a year, when like almost every starter or role player is now getting an average of at least $10 million a year. So I like that one. And then the other one I really liked was obviously the J.C. Jackson. Little pricey. Best cornerback in the market.
Taking a guy out of the Belichick tree. Are you? Yeah, I'm always going to be hesitant.
Yeah,
always going to be hesitant.
Always. Look at Stephon Gilmore now. You know, he leaves the Patriots and he just falls off. Chandler Jones is one of the only
signed right now.
Chandler Jones is one of the only ones. I mean, look at you can go all the way back to Kyle Van Noy. I mean, all the way back like last year. Kyle Van Noy. I mean, you could rattle off a ton of names, but
not many have succeeded outside of him, and yet we're thinking Josh McDaniels is going to take the Raiders to it. But whatever.
But come on, we're good on that. Let's not act, or let's remind people that we were the ones that had like I think Cody did the J.C. Jackson report a few years back when he was getting drafted, and we had a freaking high grade on him, and he went way, what was he, a 4th or 5th round pick?
Yeah, he was later.
Yeah. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Hey, we find our gems. What can we say?
Yeah. Undrafted. Yeah, I went undrafted for the Patriots in 2018. I'm sorry. And I think we had like a 2nd round grade on J.C. Jackson. So, humble brag right there, just a little bit.
For sure. So I am glad I have this in front of me now. Thank you for sending this over. This just reiterates to me this Von Miller deal just reeks desperation, and it could put the Bills in some harm in the next 2 to 3 years. But that's fine. That's fine. Do what you can to go for the king now. I would say out of all of the deals that have been given so far, I actually want to touch back on the Bengals note that you mentioned. How do you feel the Bengals have conducted themselves so far with what we're dealing with? Like, with the fact that they needed to solidify the whole offensive line, they needed to continue to bolster the defense. Like, are they doing what they need to do to make that happen? Like, with the AFC juggernaut starting to form, And these guys were the Super Bowl representatives right now, but you saw like clear things they need to address. Where does that put the Bengals in for you right now? Because we haven't even mentioned their name up to this point.
I mean, again, Alex Kappa won a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl caliber guard. So you add somebody who's a proven commodity to that. I mean, I'm trying to think of who else they've actually gone out and got. But they're not breaking.
Or they got a guard.
Yeah, they got a.
They brought back Eli Apple.
I think they went and grabbed They grabbed a center.
Familiar with Bengals talk, but I was just curious.
Bengals.
Because, I mean, I'm thinking like the AFC and like the hierarchy that goes into it. Like, what do we talk about? Like the current champion. Like they haven't done moves, and they were the type of team that was like needs to strike while the iron's hot, in my opinion. So they needed to like make shit happen, but here we are, and they got a guard and a tackle.
Guard, tackle, lost Larry Ogunjobi.
At center, who's New England's guy? Alex Kappa out of y'all for guard.
Lost.
They got Hayden Hurst.
Lost their tight end. I like the Hayden Hurst. I think that's a good fit.
That came out of nowhere. I didn't see that one.
I think that was a good fit. It was a good deal. But at the same time, so this is the team that beat your Chiefs, and not to rub that in. So how much more work do they actually have to do? I think the rest of the team is pretty damn solid, right? Wide receiving core is good, running backs are good, quarterback's good, defensive line is decent. You got you lost a D tackle, you brought back another D tackle or a decent D tackle. Linebacking core is okay. Cornerbacks, safeties are good. Bates is awesome. They made sure to bring Bates back. They just need an offensive line, and you're talking shit on the Bills being desperate, and now you're saying that this team isn't being desperate enough. So which one is it? What do you want them to do?
Good point. I just suppose I'd want some sort of significant riser, and if you're saying that all they need is just subtle offensive line investment, I can't necessarily argue with that because I agree that is what they need. But at the same time, I feel that they're in a spot with all the rest of the AFC really coming for people. They need a little bit more splash. Like these are dribbles. Like we need some weight to come off of these moves, but
solidify the offensive line. That's all they have to do.
Sure.
So I know they just met with La'el Collins. They didn't get a deal done.
Didn't work out.
But it's not the deal didn't get signed. I think he's making his La'el Collins is going to make his rounds.
He's making his rounds.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
but a deal wasn't made that really tickled his fancy enough for him to not leave. So it's trouble. I say all that to say, what happens with that What happens with that division now that Deshaun is there and that they are completely going in and making it known that the Browns are trying to stop spending on quarterbacks for a while because they could. It's been the Browns have been trying for ages, far beyond I've lived, for just to find a quarterback, just to find someone that can hold it down for a sustainable amount of time. And they gave Deshaun Watson 5 years, $230 million, fully guaranteed, just to make sure that he holds it down for the foreseeable future. And I have friends in the Browns circles, I have friends in the Bengals circles. They're a very chirpy bunch. You find these with these type of franchises. They're just very aggravated by all that they've gone through over the past decade. So when it comes to like success or something to chirp about, they get quite chirpy. And I think what we're going to start to see within that same division is that there's like an attitude forming through there. And like you have the AFC West who's like going through their whole shit and just like battling it out through. It's going to be fun in itself. But the AFC North in particular, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see what they do. I mean, they completely they're reshaping their wide receiver core already, just from what it looked like week 1 last year. And I like the Amari Cooper pickup. I thought the Amari Cooper pickup was great for what they got him for.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy and on the field, I think that's going to be the best. He's the best wide receiver that they've had to fit their system too, because Amari Cooper has always played in a run-heavy offense. I think he got lost a little bit having what they had.
Is he a top 3 receiver in that division?
Shit, who's left?
Jamar
Chase is number 1.
Well,
you have Deontay Johnson. Like,
I'm putting him over Deontay.
I definitely putting him over Deontay Johnson. I'm trying to think of who else is there.
Right. I mean, they have a legitimate number 1, and they got him for what, a 5th?
Yeah, I mean, Ravens don't have like.
Right.
Yeah.
Then they have Deshaun Watson doing it. Now they're going to have a whole draft to give him another weapon. They might be bringing back Jarvis Landry. I mean, we'll see what Twitter knows.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't sleep on the Browns again, man. Like they have the whole running game.
I think if the Browns had just slightly better quarterback play, like even I said Johnny Manziel, if freaking Baker wasn't injured, like I think that team would have been a hell of a lot better. The man was playing with one arm.
He got injured for like week
1
2.
arm. What a beast!
And he played the whole year.
The whole year. Get that man some goddamn respect a little bit.
Where does he need to go for him to get his respect? Where do you want him to go?
Seattle. I think him. For all the wrong reasons. For all the wrong reasons. Not that I think it pans out or it works out.
No, I think it's the right reason.
That whole college rah-rah bullshit that Pete Carroll preaches, that's Baker to a T. I think he goes up there and he sucks. But I think his career is in a downward trajectory if he goes to Seattle. His best spot is definitely the Colts. Hands down.
Think so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the team's kind of built. The defense, the run game, give them some pass catching weapons. They have a shit ton of cap space.
That's what Pete wants to do. Pete wants to run that same formula, but he has better weapons in Seattle.
He has better wide receivers. That's it. Not a better offensive line. If you're a quarterback, don't you? I mean, Quentin Nelson, done deal. Like that's all. Yeah. Like that offensive line, but Quentin Nelson. If Quentin Nelson's blocking for you, yeah, I want to go to that team.
And you have Jonathan Taylor behind you.
And you have the AFC South. The shittiest division of them all.
South.
You instantly, I mean, I know Tennessee is gonna kind of have is always gonna be around. But I think the longer Derrick Henry's career goes and the more they try to rely on that, it's gonna bite him in the ass. I do laugh. I do chuckle that they traded a second round. Was it a second and a 6 or second and something last year? Second and a 4th for Julio Jones just to cut him a year later. Damn.
Yeah, think about how Indy feels about Carson Wentz.
Oh,
even first.
God.
Yeah.
I can't I almost feel bad for Carson Wentz that he's just this he's definitely not a cancer. Like I wouldn't call him that, but nobody likes him.
He's a lame.
Nobody likes him.
He's a complete lame.
If you look at the way he dressed,
a locker room,
even just the way he dressed. Did you see his suit? Oh my God!
He was a South Dakota boy.
He's a
dude.
He's a dude.
He's a goober.
He's kind of he's a fucking goober. That's really what it is. He's just a goober, and not like an Andrew.
Like a whiny goober.
Yeah, a bitchy, whiny, nobody wants to play for you, type of shit. At least Baker has got some spunk and swag and charisma and ugh.
Baker's problem throughout his whole Cleveland shtick was that he kept making up a chip on his shoulder. Like that was like his whole persona, was that like he has to prove the haters wrong.
Yep.
Well, now he has legitimate haters. So like now I'm kind of here for like, all right, what are you gonna do with this, Bank? Like you're gonna get out of Cleveland, you're gonna start somewhere completely new, and you're gonna have something to be pissed off about. You're gonna have actually something to motivate you for where you're going.
Yeah.
So let's see where it takes you. And if we were to guess right now, I think Seattle does work for him. Colts would be the best place for him. But, I mean, what is Carolina going to do? Are they just going to...
Sam Darnold, baby! The Bucs are cakewalking to the NFC championship, or to the division champion. They're going to win the division for sure. They still might lose to New Orleans at least once, but we're winning the division for sure.
That's like all Tom Brady saw. It was like, wait, I have to go against this?
Yeah,
like,
this is it.
This is what it will take for me to get back. We'll have Godwin back by that point, and we'll get Russell Gage implemented at that sense, and we'll draft someone at running back. And yeah, no, I'd love a Russell Gage take from you. What you got?
Dude, I mean, him being he's been the number one target for Atlanta the last 2 years. He's got number one wide receiver mentality, and he's going to be our number 3. Like, I know, like, Brady's trying to go get Julio too, but, like, Brady needed to chill out because, I mean, we still have Tyler Johnson. We still have Scotty Miller.
Yeah,
we got to keep them boys
too. It's time to hang it up on Tyler Johnson. I think they have shown enough to say that they don't believe in Tyler Johnson.
Dude, he's been... What?
I'm just saying.
I mean, we got him in the 5th round. It's not like...
I don't think that ship's gonna sail.
I think he's a solid depth piece. I'm not saying he's a true number 3 or number 2, but he's been a hell of a 5th round pick and clutch as all hell. Some of those catches he made in the playoffs were like very impressive.
Okay.
Sure-handed as can be. You wish you had a Tyler Johnson as your number 4, number 5 receiver. Shut up. You wish. You're trying to will shit into existence so you could actually have some free agent or some better pickups on the free agent wire.
You want me to get Tyler Johnson? Is that what you're saying?
No,
what you're suggesting? We'll get somebody. Stay tuned.
Where do you
the
think
beach special hasn't happened yet?
Where do you think Tyrann Mathieu ends up?
Honestly, at the beginning of this, I would have definitely thought the Chargers. I thought he was definitely going to the Chargers. I mean, who needs a safety at this point? The man wants money, and that's what we're at.
The Bucs could use another safety after losing Jordan Whitehead. But we already have Mike Edwards, who's filled in, like, who can play both sides, filled in very well.
There's a great safety draft this year. I wouldn't go anywhere if I was
Logan Ryan can play both corner. Logan Ryan can play both corner and safety. So I really like the Logan Ryan signing too. I think that one was sneaky good.
Y'all got Logan Ryan?
Yeah.
That's super sneaky.
For our number 4 corner or number 2 free safety.
Safety.
Yeah.
Hybrid safety. That works.
Yeah. I mean, if Carlton Davis or Jamal Dean or Sean Murphy-Bunting go down this year, like, we still have a legit 3 cornerback duo. I like it. I think that was one of the sneaky better signings so far. Obviously, I'm going to like anything the Bucs do for the most part. Kind of bummed they didn't re-sign O.J. Howard. That one hurt.
Yeah, to the Bills too.
I know, dude. If
he can get unlocked over there.
I think so too, man. That is going to be him and Dawson Knox.
Late round draft right there.
Dude, I think
he's already on my radar.
Because OJ
already there. He's better than Dawson Knox. I promise you right now.
All around, yeah. Maybe he's not the better pass catcher, route runner. But I think overall he's damn sure. He's he's such a good blocking tight end. Like,
I'm telling you, he's gonna get open more than Dawson Knox gets open.
You think so?
I'm putting him already on my list.
It is. I don't know. I think they're pushing for juggernaut mode too. Like they really are.
Absolutely.
They're going all in.
They signed Von Miller to the $120 million deal. Yeah, they're going for it.
Yeah, only $50 million guaranteed. That'd be all right.
Sure.
That's a pricey 2-year deal. That's all it is. Von Miller's getting
25 million 3 years.
Huh?
Potential out in 3 years.
Well, I mean, literally, if they cut him next year, or he only plays for 2 years, it's a 2-year $50 million deal. So it's $25 million a year.
It's a lot of money. But yeah,
but they'll already have paid it. They're already gonna have paid most of that this year, anyways. Like, they're gonna pay all of it now. It's gonna get stretched out over that 5-year contract. That's why they did those voidable years. Like, it's not as bad as it looks. It sounds way worse. But again, we all have to. NFL inflation is crazy right now too.
Absolutely.
Christian Kirk, bro. Christian Kirk. If Christian Kirk's getting the same amount of money as Von Miller, like, I think it's a good deal. I'm sitting here looking. I clicked. I don't know if you have that up right now. I just clicked the available free agents. You got Julio Jones sitting at the top. I don't know why. But then you got Bobby Wagner, Zadarius Smith, Nate Soldier, Jarvis Landry, Tyrann Mathieu, Landon Collins, Teron Armstead, Stephon Gilmore, Calais Campbell, Jason Pierre-Paul, Joe Hayden, J.C. Treader. Like, there's quite a few guys out there. Go down the list. There's just, La'el Collins, Brian Bulaga. I mean, you've got quite a few still legit. I mean, half of the Bucs defense from last year. The Dominican Sue, JPP. But Melvin Gordon, Patrick Peterson, Jadeveon Clowney. Like, there is a lot of guys. Who do you think is the top commodity right now amongst, like, the free agent list? Because when I look at it, just Bobby Wag just stands out. I think Bobby Wag is, like, the biggest needle mover on this entire list right here.
And it really just kind of comes down to what he wants to get out of his career for the rest of the time. Like, is he looking to make some more cash and go to somewhere like the Texans? Like, the Texans could really use a Bobby Wagner and, like, let him kind of reshape it. Or is he trying to go win somewhere? Like, would he take a lesser deal? Like, with these type of players, and why I like what Veach is doing is being more conservative and saying, like, we're just going to take the good deals. We're not going out and reaching for talents that we think can change shit up, because we don't really need to change shit up. We just need to get good players on reasonable deals. And at this point, that's all this comes down to, is like, who is ready to make the sacrifice on a salary to join a better team. My eye, personally, if I was a Chiefs fan, I'm looking at Akeem Hicks specifically. Like, I want him to fortify the defensive line, personally. Zadarius Smith had a whole deal with the Ravens that fell through. I don't know if it was a physical. I don't know if it was contract-based. But Zadarius Smith being out there just has a legitimate pass rusher out there. We'll see how his health and injury history plays out. But I know Tyrann Mathieu wants to make some cash. Armstead, with Watson not going to the Saints anymore, he's like a legitimate free agent. The whole Gilmore situation's weird. Like, I don't know what his whole plan is. Is he trying to make some cash still? He's 31. Like, how open are teams going to be to giving a 31-year-old a legitimate cornerback contract? I mean, you saw J.C. Jackson, you saw Charvarius Ward getting in the mid-teens. I just don't know what the market sees Stephon Gilmore as anymore. And you're just, in my opinion, it just comes down to who's willing to make the deals to improve their stock this year, because you see people have kind of already taken the big ones. Like La'el Collins, we talked about him not being with Cincinnati anymore. Like, we're going to see what a bona fide tackle market looks like.
Well, they had Riley Reif last year at the right tackle, and he's definitely a liability. So
yeah.
La'el Collins would be a huge upgrade.
But needs them. They should have came off some cash. If he left Cincinnati, that's not a good sign at this point. Like, we're in March. If you're leaving, you're not going there. Yeah, again, I'm speaking from a Chiefs perspective. I wouldn't mind getting Jamison Crowder at this point. I think he comes at a small deal. I'd be down to pick up, again, Hakeem Hicks, who I'm all about. I'd even get Calais Campbell at this fucking point. Like, I want pass rushers. I want people who are here to win. I want to get small deals of people who are looking to improve just their overall stance. And you got Dwayne Brown out there, who's, if healthy, a affordable left tackle. So, like, if I'm, again, the Bengals, like, I'm looking for someone to just start and make shit happen. I mean, you got Dwayne Brown, you got Jerry Hughes, who's older as a pass rusher. I'd still go after. There's still definitely value out there, but we'll see what teams do with it. Patrick Peterson, he's 31. I mean, he had a decent year with the Vikings. We'll see what he's trying to do. For Gronkowski, I mean, is he going to play anymore? Or
come on. You know he's going to come back, Tom.
Okay. I think so, too.
He said it in an interview the other day. He's like, I'll just wait 40 days to make him, to mess with him a little bit. Talking shit on Tom doing that. But
yeah, I don't see Gronk playing anywhere besides Tom Brady because he doesn't want to expose his Hall of Fame career because he's not that type of player. But anyways, we don't have to go down that route. Jadeveon Clowney, I think he waits a little bit and lets his market kind of heat up. He seems like that kind of guy. Ogunjobi, he didn't pass his whole deal, so he's still out there. I'm very happy with where we're at right now, and I like how Veach is approaching it. I'd even be happy for a Sammy Watkins return. Let's get Sammy Watkins back as the fourth wide receiver. Guy knows the playbook. Guy knows what he's doing.
Guy can't stay on the field.
Fuck it, $4 million. We'll pay him. $4 million. Come out every now and then. We'll have McCole Hardman doing routes in between. Yeah, I'm not worried about this AFC formation that we're dealing with right now. This is just the whole concept. If you're coming for the king, you better not miss. And people are trying to come for the king. And at the end of the day, we're still going to be us. We still got the pieces that we need to have. But I will say this real quick. If there's one thing that I will take away from this entire episode that is completely unrelated to any of this, but it kind of dawned on me last night. If we win a Super Bowl this year, Travis Kelce retires. If we win any more Super Bowls, Travis Kelce will retire. So I just want to put that out there.
Damn, you think so?
I do. I think he's done. Like, if he wins, like, there's nothing else to accomplish beyond that. Otherwise, he has to play for like 7 more years to accomplish the Tony G's and the Jason Wittens, but I don't think he's really trying to do that.
And the Rob Gronkowskis. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that now.
Sure, we'll put Gronk up there, but let me know when he has a 1,400-yard receiving season.
He doesn't have to. Just catch touchdowns. That's all he needs.
From Tom Brady. That's it. Like that's all he's doing.
Okay, well, Travis Kelce's catching touchdown passes from who?
Alex Smith.
Yeah, and Alex Smith was a stud quarterback that year. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna hate on him like you hate on Derek Carr. That's fine.
I can't wait for our Derek Carr and Justin Herbert bet. It's gonna be electric. Don't you worry.
Shit. I didn't realize he was 32 years old. Yeah, I could definitely.
And he's trash.
I'm talking about Travis Kelce. You.
No, he's not trash. He's the greatest tight end who's ever lived.
Oh, shut up.
I'm telling you.
All right. Man, I'm interested to see. I want to know what Green Bay does, with the wide receiving core. Like, how do you guys say you go all in and then trade that? I know we kind of already addressed this, but I do look at that Jarvis Landry. Jarvis has never had a quarterback to throw to. Ryan Tannehill and Baker. Like, you got OBJ still out there. We never even talked and addressed the Rams situation. They sign Allen Robinson, which I love. I think Allen Robinson was a sleeper was the sleeper wide receiver in the entire free agency market, and I think might have been the best steal for a wide receiver in free agency this year, outside of Chris Godwin. But then they trade
wide receivers in that system produce. They don't know the way about it.
They sign Allen Robinson, and then they go out right after and say we still got money to sign OBJ, and then right after that they go and trade Robert Woods, which kind of puzzling. Like Robert Woods has been so
as cheap as they went for him too.
Yeah, like
it's just a money move. It's a money move.
They're opening up money for OBJ. Who would you rather have, OBJ or Robert Woods? Like it's pretty. Robert Woods is a solid wide receiver. Robert Woods is never going to be a true number one.
OBJ might not play till December, maybe January. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard to play. And they still have to sign Aaron Donald. He might retire. If he retires, what does that do for
I don't think he does. I think he would have made that decision now so that they had the time. Like I think he would have done that for the team. I think that's why. To be honest, I think that's why Tom Brady initially retired early. One, the pressure of the media, kind of forcing his hand. But realistically, he was unsure, didn't really know if he was in or out, needed that time, but didn't want to give the Bucs no time to replace him. And I think part of that for sure, I think maybe in the back of his head was like, all right, if they go get a Deshaun Watson, or if they go get a quarterback that is worthy of replacing me, then I can go to the Niners. Then they don't have a chance. They don't have a choice, and I get to go play for my hometown team that I've always wanted to play for. I think that.
Go to Niners.
I thought there was. I think it was kind of. It was definitely in there, but.
I think it was floated out there. You think that influenced his decision?
I mean, a little bit. At least I think it was at least the hamster wheel was at least turning a little bit. But then when you see how weak the division gets, how weak the entire conference gets, Dallas taking a step back, losing Amari Cooper, losing Lael Collins, losing freaking Connor Williams, what's his name? I mean, I'm drawing a blank right now. Their star left tackle can't ever stay on the damn field, and they're still riding with him. Tyron, damn it.
Talking about the Cowboys?
Yeah, their star left tackle.
Smith.
Yeah, Tyron Smith. Sorry. Yeah, I think they're taking a step back. I don't know how much Washington's upgraded their team. The Eagles haven't done anything.
Yeah, Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think Tyler Heineke's probably playing in Week 17.
Oh man, I give him 12.
Oh yeah, no, I'm guaranteeing by Week 17. It probably is going to happen earlier, but I'm saying that Heineke is going to end the season as the starter. He'll sprain both ankles on just walking out in the field or something like that. But
yeah, I'm just over here looking at free agency fits, and again, I just want to reiterate, I want Akeem Hicks or Jadeveon Clowney or
your guys' D-line and your cornerbacks, I think, are the only holes you really need to fill, right?
That's the things we need. That's it.
O-line.
And we need to draft a tackle. We need to draft a backup tackle.
Yeah. The Bucs better learn that lesson this year and go get themselves somebody who can actually play the position. I need a swing tackle. I need a swing tackle bad.
Yeah, swing tackle's needed on this team for sure.
Oh. If the Bucs had drafted a offensive lineman that was worthy of backing up and could have replaced, at right tackle, we'd have been all right.
It's hard. It's hard to keep 6 to 7 linemen, good linemen on a team. That's a very difficult thing to do. And that's what happened with That's what happened with the Cowboys. Is they tried to invest in that position group, and then they paid for that position group. And now they can't pay for anything, and then they paid a running back, and then everything fell apart. And now we're dealing with, and then they paid a quarterback. And then they're going to be struggling for the next 3 years. But they can get out of it at some point.
I mean, the NFC, the NFC South, man, it is so bad. And then NFC East, so bad. NFC North, like, it's bad.
I am happy that the Saints brought back Jameis, though. He deserved it.
They should have done it.
They should have done it.
It's not official yet.
Not official?
No, it's not official yet.
Fucking Twitter, man.
I don't think so. Unless I'm tripping.
They need to. And they need to go ahead and draft somebody else. Sure. But let Jameis go out there and do his thing. He was doing well enough to deserve another shot.
He was.
And he fits in with that culture, and he fits in with the region. And, like, he's a great Saints quarterback.
Yeah, there's nothing solidified just yet. I think he knows the system. You know, they're keeping the same.
Like fucking Matt Corral.
They kept the entire same coaching staff. It's not like the OC changed. It's like, you know, Dennis Allen, you know, just got promoted to head coach. That's really all that happened. So you might as well keep that familiarity in the system. What do you think happens to Jimmy G? Because I mean, he really is the hottest QB left on the market, and yet nobody really seems to want it. Ooh, I mean, Jimmy, man. I hate to say it. You're risking like your whole season on his health, but Jimmy's a proven proven quarterback who can take you to the playoffs and get you to the Super Bowl, damn near win it. You know, man was a throw away from winning the Super Bowl. So I think, and especially he was hurt too. I mean, wasn't it the damn near the same injury as Baker? It was his non-throwing shoulder, right? Or was it his throwing?
I thought he had hand issues. He had like hand issues too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was his throwing arm, and that's why he's going to be out all season. He had that off-season surgery. I would say Jimmy G over Baker. Jimmy should go to the Colts. It's a run-heavy offense. All he needs to do is just not mess up, you know, and that's kind of been his the MO with the Niners. Just don't fuck it up for us, and we'll be all right.
All right, top of my head, here's the top four, and I would like your personal order.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Jimmy G, Baker, Matt Ryan, Sam Darnold.
What team are we? Or do we have a specific team in mind?
Seattle.
All right.
Or Malik Willis.
Can I add another name to this list that I think
Please.
Everybody is disrespecting? Marcus Mariota.
Sure.
Marcus Mariota is one of the only quarterbacks on this list that's like taken his team to the playoffs. You know, Matt Ryan a long time ago. Baker did, but like Jimmy did. I guess that's bullshit. But but Marcus Mariota, if I'm the Colts, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go get Marcus Mariota at least as like to compete. Get him and draft a quarterback, or get him and somebody else. Like, I really like Marcus Mariota. I don't know why people are not giving him any credit, because he played better. He wasn't a better thrower of the football, but he played better than Jameis. It's just the truth. Like, Jameis threw 30 interceptions while Marcus Mariota was taking his team to the playoffs. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't, you know, but it's not like freaking Ryan Tannehill has been some massive giant upgrade, and that they've had far more success with Tannehill than they did Marcus Mariota. It has a lot to do with that coaching staff. It has a lot to do with the roster. But Marcus Mariota, being a running quarterback, a mobile quarterback, was always able to extend that. And when a player is able to extend just a little bit as a quarterback on a really good team, those little extensions end up, you know, equaling wins, I think. So I will go Jimmy G, Marcus Mariota. I'll go Matt Ryan third, Baker fourth.
Hold up, Marcus Mariota's your number 2?
Yeah. If I was the Bucs right now and the Bucs didn't have,
I gotta write these down. All right, Mariota. Oh, sorry, and I'm also trying to receive the fact that I'm having to compare Marcus Mariota to multiple players right now. Matt Ryan. Like, I was not ready for this exercise.
I know. I'm sorry. I threw you a hell of a curveball. I mean, I guess Jameis has to be thrown in that.
It's worth being said, though.
Yeah.
Darnold. All right. Sorry. Mariota, Baker, Matt Ryan, Darnold.
Yeah, Darnold's at the very bottom.
Darnold's the worst asset in this group.
Hell yeah. It's trash. It's garbage. We've known that since the draft. We called this shit. We knew he was going to be garbage. So, yeah, I'm going Jimmy. I'm going Mariota. I'm going... That's the thing. Is like Matt Ryan in that that's kind of what I'm also taking into consideration. You're going to get Mariota on a hell of a deal and be able to keep adding talent to your offense. When you pick up that freaking massive contract of Matt Ryan's, you're screwed. But I don't think anybody's going to take that. I think now that they're not in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, like, he's staying in Atlanta. Oop. Little skip. I'll keep rolling until he comes back. Yeah, I'm Baker the Seahawks. You back? No? Alright, we lost Ashton. I apologize, guys. But yeah, I think Baker to the Seahawks. I think Jimmy G to the Colts. But I think when you go get Jimmy G, you have to go sign a Marcus Mariota and then let them two compete. Obviously, if you're going to sign Jimmy G, it's probably going to be giving him the job. But, like, they're both injury prone, so you kind of want to combat that. If somebody goes and gets Jimmy Garoppolo, then I think somebody gets Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going to pay him. Like, he's going to be solidified as the starter, but you just have to take it into consideration. I just repeated myself. Ashton, you hear me? I know you said you're here, but I have no audio. I can't hear you. I'll give it. Just wrap up. We can just wrap up. Let's wrap up. We will save that. Is what it is, man. Technical difficulties, but we're at an hour and 7 minutes, so we hit our hour mark like we were hoping to do. So I will end it with this. Next episode, we'll get some shit together for the Derek Carr stuff. I want to know. I will have the exact. I want to know the exact draft capital that the Cleveland Browns have spent on quarterbacks to the point to where now they finally have their quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Off-field issues aside, I'm looking forward to seeing him. But yeah, I don't know if you heard me. I'm saying if you go get Jimmy G, you need to go get a backup quarterback. So I think the Colts should go trade for Jimmy G and sign Marcus Mariota. Boom. 2 injury-prone quarterbacks who've proven they can make the playoffs. One will be injured, the other one won't. You'd be good. And yeah, Baker to the Seahawks. So for a second-round pick. That's all I got. You got something? I see you're typing. No? All right. Well, this has been the Blitz Breakdown, brought to you by Blitzlytics, where scouting meets analytics. You meet the newest crop of off-field talent. Appreciate you guys all being faithful while we have terrible scheduling for our podcast. Go Bucks. I'm sure he's saying go Chiefs over there. Tune in soon. We'll be back in a couple days with another episode. Blitz out. Shout out to our sponsors, Key City Brewing. Drink, Rebel, Pete.